Hello, guys, and welcome to today's episode of the HYROX Heroes podcast. And we have just wrapped up an incredible weekend at HYROX Sydney. If you were there and part of it, it was an incredible event. You know exactly the energy and the vibes that were there in Sydney. It was so good. And just like every HYROX is, so it doesn't matter which one you've been to. And if you haven't done a HYROX yet, we're going to talk a lot about that today. We're going to talk about the event because the sport is growing, not only from the people competing in it, but the event itself, the experience, Hyrox, the improvements they've made in 12 months to make the weekend more of an experience, more professional. It's incredible. So let's dive into the HYROX Sydney recap episode. I can't talk about everything or else I will literally be here for hours. But we're just going to go over some of the fun things. And there is so much that there is to unpack from the weekend, especially with the Hybrid Heroes crew and all the results that happened. And I'm going to be breaking down some of those things on the coming episodes because they need their own episode to talk about. So, anyway, let's dive in. HYROX Sydney in Australia happened, and they said there were over 22,000 participants there. I did just have a quick look on high results. If you haven't seen high results, go to it. It gives you all the data. So there was 19,200 timings on high results. But yeah, I'm sure there was lots of tickets sold. And that is a record not only for Australia, but I'm pretty sure it's like one of the biggest in the world, and by a lot, by like over 5,000, which is incredible. They had to take the event from a 2-day event to a 3-day event. And even still, like, yeah, it was crazy. It was just so crazy to see so many people doing HYROX, which is so awesome. At HYROX themselves, so as soon as you walk in, now, if you've been to HYROX before, you know what it's like trying to cross the track, right? You have to wait. Everyone bunches up midway. They let you through. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's basically the spectators trying to cross the HYROX running track. You either got to dash across really quickly, or they sort of guide you across, so they let the runners through. It just takes time. But this year, one of the improvements that they made is they had a walkover bridge. How awesome was that? So the runners ran under the bridge and everyone was able just to walk over the track. I thought that was incredible. Definitely at some of the peak times. It didn't take too long, but it definitely got a little bit bunched up. So they could have, definitely, I reckon, if they could have put a second bridge in, would have been incredible. But regardless, it was a great addition, and it just, yeah, it made it almost feel like an F1 event. Having the walkover bridge, I thought that was really cool. Another huge feature that was there, I really thought it was cool. I know a lot of people did as well. Is they had massive screens in and throughout the arena. But on the screens, they had a live camera of the starting chute. Now that was so cool because, again, if you've been to a HYROX as a spectator, you are trying to watch, your friends, your loved ones run out of that starting chute, and then you have to run yourself and do a 4-minute kilometer to the ski station to catch them there. So they had it so you could literally go to the ski station, wait there, but look at them on the start chute. Even where the start chute was positioned was sort of like a little bit to the side, so spectators couldn't really crowd it. So I don't know if that was the reason for it, but it was awesome. It was really good. It just, again, it gave the event just another level of of how to watch it and watch it all unfold, which was really, really cool. So that was awesome to see. Another thing that I want to note is the merchandise. So HYROX and Puma, like, shout out to Puma. We are not affiliated with them at all. We are LSKD, true and true. But for the merch was good. Like, they had such good merch, and I really love seeing, like, I love activewear, full stop. But they had really good merch there. They had it fully branded with the event, really cool styles. Because a lot of times you see these brands, and HYROX used to be a bit like this. It looked a bit dorky, but it's really cool to see that HYROX is creating a cool brand, and I think that is cool because again, it makes you proud to do HYROX. It reps well, it looks good. So I was really impressed with that. Did I buy any? I didn't because again, LSKD athlete here, so which is awesome. So LSKD, I'm staying loyal. Don't you worry. But it inspired me because Hybrid Heroes, we are going to look into the merchandise realm at some point. So we're definitely starting to get a look. An eye out for what we could do ourselves, because again, it's about you gotta look good. When you look good, you go faster. It's scientifically proven. So I thought that was cool. The whole event as well, they had tattooing going on there. Like Puma had a tattooist. So I don't know if I would love to know. I would love to know if you were there and you got a tattoo and you already regret it, because they only had a selection of tattoos that were, somewhat HYROX Puma related. So I wonder if someone, was super impulsive, got it, because they're all hyped up and. Yeah, it would be very interesting to see. So I hope nobody got a tattoo, then raced, and then got an infection as well. That would be bad. But there was tattooing going on there. What else was going on there? There was lots, like all the sponsors there, the vendors. I'm going to talk more about some of the people that we were partnering with and their involvement at HYROX as well. It's just so cool. Like even in all the other people in the HYROX space, obviously us Hybrid Heroes, going there with our crew and just having an awesome time. But it's so awesome to see other HYROX coaches and brands and their crews all come around to HYROX Sydney, and we're making friends with these people. We're not competition, we're all friends. And I love this about HYROX is when we go to a race is we get to see our friends and we get to see their communities growing, we get to make new friends, and it really truly is a special time. So for all you other coaches and brands out there that are building a brand and helping people, like it is just so awesome to see all that. So how does this all tie back to you, the listener? How does it tie back to, how does it help me? Well, it's gonna, number one, it's just cool, right? It's like nice to be part of a community event that's growing, right? Because you're going to be training your ass off. You're going to be dedicating time. You're going to be paying money. You're going to be traveling. And you want to know that the sport that you're investing into is growing. And I think that is so cool. What is also cool about it for people, and we get a lot of listeners on here who are first timers, they've never done a HYROX, and they listen to this because they want to learn more about the event, and just know that we saw so many new people. It's so awesome to see. It means as coaches and brands, we're doing our job because we're making people feel confident enough to go and tackle HYROX, and that's so freaking cool. Like HYROX, it's a challenge. There is no doubt in that. But if you're courageous enough to do it, going to the event, there is no shortage of just support and people cheering you on. So that should be a huge encouragement for you, because I know a lot of people are scared and doubtful because they're worried about being judged. They're worried about what it might look like to other people. But no one's there to do that. Everyone is just there to cheer you on and be your biggest supporter. So that's gonna, so HYROX, well done. Community of HYROX, well done. You're doing great. And anyone who's looking forward to doing their first HYROX, it's going to be fun. Hopefully I've made this sound like a bit of excitement. So it's going to be really cool. All right, in talking about some cool, exciting things, I have to give a shout out and I have to share some stories of the people who, like from our crew who did HYROX. And literally as I'm doing this podcast, I'm getting some messages from our community, our clients. But I've got some results just from the people. I'm going to share just some of them. So we had Gab and Jordan. So Gabrielle Nakora Baker, she's gone from, I've never done HYROX, like, what was it, like 15 months ago, maybe a bit longer now, 16, 17 months ago, to now she's Elite 15, and she is just killing and dominating HYROX. So she won mixed doubles with her husband, Jordan. Like, I'm so proud of them. Jordan, my man. Again, Jordan was like, he was never overweight, but he lost like, he'll tell you exactly, 18 kilos or something like that in his journey. and they literally won mixed doubles in Sydney, which was incredible in their age group. And then Gab the next day went on to come second in the women's pro solos. First time ever she done that. So I'm so just proud of her for doing that. I'll talk a bit more about this later, but me and Jordan also, we did a sub 60. So I'm just so happy that I was able to do that, number one, but also get that for Jordan. So that was really cool to see. I have to shout out to these two guys. We got Anthony and Luke, a couple of our crew guys down here in Melbourne. And, these guys came to me, and this is a great story for you because you might be in this same position or you might know someone. Now, these guys are coaches, right? They're coaches. They own businesses, a UBX and a BFT. So they're in the space. But they're new to HYROX. They're runners. They're lighter athletes, great runners. And, they started training with us. And so this is good to know too, because they're people, right? They are people just like everybody else. And they were like, yeah, we're going to do doubles. Awesome. And then they just were like, oh, we're going to do open. And there is no problem with doing open. But these guys, again, they're coaches, they're personal trainers, and they're telling me that as a coach, oh, we're going to do open. And I'm just like, why would you do open? And I challenged them and I said, you've got to do pro. And why I said they got to do pro is because they were capable of doing open. That open was no issue. They were then just going to try go as fast as they could. But pro scared them a little bit. Now, again, these guys, they're professional. They literally are professional coaches. So they were scared. Now, again, they're lightweights. They're super shredded light guys. They're not like big 90 kilo strong powerlifter guys. So like a lot of people, they were a bit intimidated by the weights, I'll say. And they were unsure if they could get a great time if they went into pro. And I just said to them, I'm like, do whatever is the hardest option, do that one, because growth doesn't come in the comfort zone. Like if they had done open and even did a good time, it's still like they did what they could have done. Like there was no challenge there. So they stepped up to the pro category. And when I challenged them and they're like, you're right. And they did it. And these guys locked in. And if you don't know who they are, find them on my social media. On Hybrid Heroes, Anthony and Luke, you'll see them. They are two shredded individuals. These guys went from, Luke would love me for saying this anyway. He went from, again, these guys aren't overweight at all, but let's call it just a guy who's does too many hours coaching and has a few drinks on the weekend to absolutely under 10% body fat. It is ridiculous. They always had it in them. And this is the thing with a lot of people. Is you know what to do, you know how to eat better, you know how to train, you have it in you, you just need a great reason to do it. And these guys got their great reason. They stepped up to the pro category. They got a good solid, I think it was 4 months of training in. They transformed their physiques. They absolutely got locked in, dialed in, and then they ran a 1 hour and 7 second. They just missed out on sub 60. But these guys went from, we're just going to do open. And I don't even reckon they would have got that time in open, to be honest. Sorry, guys. If we didn't challenge them, because they locked in and they just stepped up to another level. And now they're going again in Perth. And I think that's just such a great story to share with people is, are you just going to go to the category that you're comfortable with, right? And, it's the challenge doesn't come in just doing the comfortable things. The reward, the growth, the satisfaction comes from taking on the challenge. And it doesn't matter if you fail. It doesn't matter if you get 1% better at anything, and then you stack those things on. And that's the thing. Success and achieving your goals, it should not be 3 months is lots of time. Maybe you need 3 years to get to your goal. Things take time, but just a huge shout out to them. That is such a great story, and you'll definitely see them on our socials as well. I'm going to stop talking about results because I could keep going, but we had countless results. And again, we're going to spend a bit of time really just trying to share them on our social medias as well, because it is so awesome to see what our community is doing. So if you are one of those people, all right, just well done. I know on our training platform, we would have had close to around 30, 35 people there on our platform. From our Melbourne crew, we would have had about 20 odd people there as well. So it was really good. We had a really great just collection of hybrid heroes doing their thing. So well done. Oh, okay. Talking of results, I said I wasn't going to talk more about results. All right, I'm going to just say this. So I got my sub 60. If you've been following my journey, my personal journey, I was doing mixed doubles with Gab, and she's a freak. So she's super fit. We did a 104, 102, 1 hour, 34 seconds. And then I got in men's pro doubles a 59.36. So talking about failure, talking about keep going, talking about just getting 1% better and just improving. Talk about the self-comparison. Talk about the, challenging your identity and what you believe in. All that I went through. Now, I'm not going to bore you anymore with this right now. I'm actually going to do another podcast episode this week on this, because there is, again, a lot to unpack, a lot I want to share with. But again, if you've sort of seen it and witnessed it, it's been a long time coming. So the first one I did was about over a year ago. So it's taken me a year to get, let's call it 4.5 minutes quicker, which is crazy. So yeah, I'm going to break all that down. So again, if you failed at HYROX Sydney, if you failed anywhere in the world at your HYROX, you went a little bit slower, strategy didn't work, something happened, a penalty, it's like your time it's just not your time. There was something that you needed to learn, something you needed to fix, right? You put yourself in a position, right, potentially to, just make that mistake, or something happened. And I know that sounds probably like harsh, but it's the reality. And you have to really, what it takes to just go that little bit further is a lot. And this isn't me being like, now I've done it, this is what it is. No, it's this is what I've learned in a lot of things in life, with business, relationships. HYROX, all the same, is to get 1 minute quicker. It's not a little bit extra work. It's not doing one extra training session. It's actually a significant increase in energy and effort to get there. And that is why only X amount of people get to, the sub 60 bracket, get on the podium, and the rest. And I've seen this even from people realistically even doing sub 90 minutes, around an hour 30. And I've seen this countless of times, and it's a over they underestimate the work required to actually make improvement. Because I've seen some people go, yep, I did a 130, I should be getting 120, and then they go, and then they only make a small little change in their training, very small. They might do an extra run, they might go a little bit further, they might just be a little bit more consistent, and then they get to HYROX again and they do a 126, and which is still a 4-minute improvement, right? But they're so upset that it didn't go 110, and it's well, you didn't change much of your nutrition, you didn't change your routine, you still went out for drinks, you still had work stuff, you still did stuff, you did an extra run, but and you got 4 minutes quicker. But to go 10 minutes quicker, to go 20 minutes quicker, it takes a little bit more work than that. So these are the things that I will be talking about when I break down the sub 60, the journey I went on, and especially from myself as a coach. And hopefully I bring this vibe. I probably don't know it a lot because I just talk so much in my life in general, but I love the psychology of why we do the things that we do. I like to understand how our brains work, and so when I break down all these things, I don't like to think, I did this. It's I like to understand, where does consistency come from? What makes us inconsistent? What are the deeper root causes of all of these problems? What truly needs to change? What belief systems, what identities need to change? How do you manifest these new actions into your life? There's so much that I like to go down. So I'm really going to unpack all this, which is going to be a great episode. So get ready for that one. But again, it's wherever you are right now, just know, right, that your story doesn't end here. You haven't come this far to come this far, right? And the only way that you can fail at something is if you quit. So don't ever quit, don't ever give up. And my little win here in this sub 60 result is just a testament to those principles, right? That are just tested over time in every area of life. So we're going to dive into that. Oh, okay. What else happened at HYROX Sydney? Oh, I got to give a big shout out and talk about as well. And this directly can help you because this played a key role in my results, in clients' results, but also not only played a key role, but the people who did not have this area dialed in, they suffered. And I'm going to talk about nutrition. How many people did I hear go, oh, I didn't drink my salts, didn't drink my electrolytes, got cramping, just didn't get all this right. And so we are partnered with an amazing company, Switch Nutrition. The owners there, Nev and CJ, up there in Queensland, amazing people, and Chloe, who works for them as well, amazing people. They have supported Hybrid Heroes, have supported our community. They have done so much for us, and I'm so privileged and proud to be partnered with them. And not just because they're great people, but because they got amazing products. And that's how we got onto them. Is we got onto them from some very good recommendations from people that were like, you got to use these products because they work. Was the advice that was told to me. So I used them. Then I'm like, I got to reach out to them. I got to get a deal with these people, and it's been great since then. So Switch Nutrition and supplements, nutrition. Okay, let's talk nutrition first, because supplements are supplements. You can't just take good supplements and fix a bad diet. So you can't take Switch and eat Maccas all day and you're going to be good. All right. Sadly, it does not work that way. So you got to have a good diet. So you got to get carbohydrates in. Okay. If you're cutting carbs, if you're under fueling. Okay. So you got to, if you're a HYROX athlete, you got to be driven off carbohydrates, right? That's your main primary fuel source, right? Seed is too much. Fats, proteins, whole foods, eat good. All right. It's common sense. Just use common sense when it comes to nutrition. Now supplements. Now the biggest thing that really helps with Switch products as well is they have products that are formulated to really enhance your training, your recovery, and your HYROX. They do a product. Now this isn't me trying to sell products. It's me just talking about the things that are going to help you. One product that I smash a lot is a product that they have, which is called Hydrate. You guess what it does? If you can guess, I'll give you a free Hydrate. Just joke by. It's going to help you hydrate, and it's packed full of electrolytes, salts, other things that they can explain so much better to me. So if you want the full breakdown, go to switchnutrition.com and everything's in there. But it's got, certain vitamins and just things that enhance the hydration process. But I drink it all day. I'm literally talking about all day. Number one, because I don't like plain water. I like flavored water. Switch Nutrition got great flavors. But it keeps me hydrated. So I got their bottles as well, which is a 500 ml bottle. So I'll do, if I'm just drinking all day, I'll do half scoop. I'll do that 3 or 4 times throughout the day. Training, during training, and after training. And they have a Hydrate Perform range. So even during training, they have one with carbohydrates in there as well. So, because some of our sessions, they're going 60 plus minutes. So the fact that I can get hydration and carbohydrates in one drink is so key. It stops me from cramping. It helps me recover. Have you ever done a big session and it's just wrecked you for the rest of the evening, and then you potentially can't even sleep properly at night? It's because you're cooked. You're dehydrated and you need to get some hydration in. Now, the thing is with hydration as well, is if you drink a ton of water, it doesn't necessarily hydrate you, because the salts is what binds it into the cell, right? Because you need, the salt is what creates that electrical charge, and what holds and retains water into the cell. So that's why, Hydrate, number one, is a great, delicious drink, okay? But you can also use Himalayan salt, sea salt, and put it in your water as well. It just tastes like the salt in your water. So things like that. So that's how important hydration is. You would have seen even with Hydrate, we're giving out some Hydrate samples and that. It's an incredible product. One thing that I did really, really well, so it is a little bit of a secret into my race as well. and Switch, if you do listen to this, you'll like this. So I come up with my pre-race like stack, which worked so well in Sydney because I just did not stop the whole race. So I used a little bit of hydrate. So this was my pre-race drink. I did a little bit of hydrate. I did electrolytes. I did beta alanine. So I did like a 3/4 scoop. It's only a little scoop, but I didn't go too crazy on it because that stuff makes you tingle. So switched to a pure, just beta alanine. And then I did citrulline. So, all right, what are these products? Beta alanine is a lactate acid buffer. So it buffers the lactate effect in the blood. So, you know, when you just like can't go anymore, beta alanine helps sort of delay that response. So it buffers it. So it promotes you to keep pushing harder for longer. It is a legal supplement, by the way. Beta alanine is a lot of things, but you can get it in its pure form as well. If you're taking a pre-workout or anything like that where you've tingled, that's the beta alanine, which is crazy. So that, and then I use a bit of citrulline in there as well, which citrulline is a nitric oxide booster. How freaking cool does it sound? But you know, basically it helps increase like your blood flow in your ventricle system, in your veins, which is incredible. So we're buffering lactate, we're promoting blood flow in the ventricle system. We've got good salts and hydration. That is a key stack. What a stack. Switch, you've done well. And that's what's great about them too, is I love it because you can get the single ingredients. You don't need to buy like a pre-workout that has all the other things in it that you don't need. Like even like caffeine, like I didn't need caffeine racing so late at night. I had a late coffee. Which I had the best coffee in Sydney as well. So tell me if you rate this. If you rate it, definitely send me a message. I love this one. Piccolo Me was a cafe there, and they had some amazing names, but they had a coffee there called the Slapper, which was a triple ristretto with and a 3/4 flat white. It was incredible. Sorry to change subject. I'll come back. But anyway, shout out to that coffee. That took care of my caffeine hit. So yeah, again, and Switch do like so many other products. Shout out there. So with Switch Nutrition there, just to plug them a little bit right now, we actually have a discount code with them. So the discount code is hybridheroes. One word, put it in their checkout. We have links to it in our bios and all that kind of stuff. I'll put it in the description below. And yeah, Hybrid Heroes, you get 15% off all their products, which is freaking incredible. And they got so many there. So go check out Switch. I didn't even talk about what Switch did. I was just talking about my pre-workout. So what Switch also did that I was able to do as well on the weekend was we did a shakeout run on the Thursday. So Switch came down. They came down for all their products. They handed out so much free stuff. LSKD got involved as well, which was awesome, and they gave out goodie bags. So we did a shakeout run on the Thursday. We ran 5K, so it was 2.5K out, 2.5K back, and we did that on the Thursday, so to kick off HYROX weekend. So again, it's really cool to see Switch getting involved in the HYROX scene. I know they're really wanting to push into the hybrid space because again, they have their Switch Perform range, which is really going to be suited to any HYROXer hybrid athlete, as well as the rest of the range that does as well, because it's good nutrition. But they're really getting around people who are doing what we do, which is incredible. And they're making tailored products for us. So absolutely incredible. Go check them out, which is awesome. In saying that too, LSKD, okay, another amazing brand doing great things. Now LSKD, I came on board with LSKD as a store athlete here in Melbourne last year, and it's been just such a great partnership. They have supported me so much, again, just with great gear, great clothing, great opportunities to do really awesome and events and meet really great people. And they are making a presence at HYROX. So you would have seen the trucks around at HYROX Sydney. For those who didn't see it, they had these like trucks with like billboards, just like with like, you know, just funny quotes on them. But again, it just really just helps, you know, take out the seriousness sometimes of the event and just really, you know, remind us that HYROX and what we're doing is fun, right? It's a fun event. And LSKD really put in a huge effort there, as they always do at these events. So they had their 1% Better Hub, which was at the Novotel. They had the recovery boot set up. There was hair braiding going on. You could make your own supporter signs. They had some merch there. They had a t-shirt that was designed just for the weekend, which I always purchase. So I've got lots of black t-shirts now. So they were there. A lot of people from HYROX as well, from LSKD, were competing at HYROX, which was really cool. And that was only on the Saturday. And then on the Sunday, they took over the cafe where I got my slapper from, the Piccolo Me, and they did an activation there where they were giving away things. They had like a spin the wheel. They were doing challenges. They were giving away some free coffees. It was really, really cool to see, just again, them just get around and just do fun things in this space. So this is all the fun things that happen at HYROX. And if you're overseas and listening to this, I'd love to know if HYROX and all the other brands around do similar things. If not, just come down to Australia, because Australia is kicking off. Like everyone's getting around it. The brands are loving it. And again, it's really just really good energy and vibes that's happening here. So if you haven't done your first HYROX and you're like so worried about the event, so remember, there's more to the event than just some burpees and running around. Again, there's a lot to do around it too. So it's definitely a fun weekend and worth the travel as well. So if you don't have HYROX near you, like, it is so worth it to make an awesome weekend out of it. Go get your friends. Go book a apartment. That's what we do. We just get all our buddies. We get a big Airbnb. We stay together. We eat together. We go HYROX together. It is so freaking cool. So that also was what was going on over there. All right, HYROX Sydney. So the next HYROX for us in Australia is going to be Perth coming up in September, which is going to be cool. And we also have HYROX Melbourne. So HYROX Melbourne, end of the year. So Perth, again, if you're not from Australia, Perth is all the way on the other side of the country. So Perth isn't going to be as big as Sydney would be. I don't think as big as Brisbane will be. And Melbourne at the end of the year is gearing up to be, again, one of the biggest in the world, as it's going to be one of the 4 majors. So that means Elite 15 racing. There's going to be 2 separate venues. It is packed. It is going to be set to be the most packed HYROX yet, and it's at Melbourne Convention Centre, which obviously is huge, right in the heart of Melbourne. And what's really cool, it's like less than a kilometre away from where Hybrid Heroes train. So we're definitely going to be making something. We're going to be doing something cool around that as well. And what is also cool, so Hybrid Heroes and what we do and how we help people with HYROX. Obviously, we do podcasts and we do all these things to help share our insights and knowledge, but we also help people train for HYROX. So if you haven't seen that already, we have our own training app. So basically, we have, like, my 18 years of being a personal trainer and coach has now funneled all into this training app, and I have delivered HYROX programming. And what separates this from, I guess, a lot of other programs out there is that, as a personal trainer, the skill that we develop over many years is how to create programs for people. And who are the main people doing HYROX? Whether you're a first timer, whether you're someone who's still going out there and almost going sub 60, still intermediate athlete, even an advanced athlete, is I take it, the majority of us, right, still have jobs, still have lives, still have relationships, partners. We're still navigating all of those things. So we are not full-time athletes. So that's why, the program designs that we have created here are the best programs that are, I'm so proud of them. I call them some of the best programming in the world, because they are based on principles. They are based on the fundamentals of, building endurance, building strength, and then building those skills into then HYROX specific workouts. And they are structured in a way that help everyday people. So we actually have 2 pathways. So this is something we've done to simplify our programs, is you can do a first timer program. So if you go down the first timer route, the program is designed for you to, again, not be overwhelming, not be stressful, not break you down, but to build you up over time. And we supply not just like 12 weeks of programming, we give you 9 months of programming. So you could be like, oh, my HYROX isn't until early next year. Is we've got programming that will get you where you are right now, and it will help you progressively, build what you need to build over time. And as you get closer to your HYROX race, ensure that you are in the best shape possible to take on HYROX. So anyone who's gone through, at least 3 months of the program has never come into a HYROX not ready for it. So that is something I'm very proud about. We also now have launched our Perform pathway. So this is now a dedicated pathway for people who want a PB, who want to set, a really good time, who want to go to a podium. And this pathway now is based off programs that we have done that have landed many of our athletes onto the podium, has landed us world championship qualifying spots, and has even got someone to Elite 15. So again, that framework is there, and then it's been just structured in a way that works for everyday people. And we even have like a 5-day split, 6-day split. So again, we got different options to suit different lives. So if you want to get involved with our training app, we have a 7-day free trial. Description links is going to be all down there below, right? So again, I share that with you because we're here to help you. So hopefully an insight from here, it's going to help you. But if you need the structure, if you need the training plan, if you want the blueprint, the framework, if you want to I want to get that result, how do I do it? We give you that. We got a ton of video support in there. You get direct access to myself in there as well. So you can message me. Like I said, I was getting messages while this podcast was going from our clients. And I get back to you and help and support you along the way as well. Because everyone's journey is unique, and you're going to come up to your own challenges, and we might need to change things, and that's why you need someone to help you along the way. It could even be just you just need a message every now and then just to say you're doing great, how you going. And again, I think that's one thing that we're missing in this in this coaching space, because everyone's got a program out there, but sometimes, yes, we want the program, but we want the connection as well. And I love doing that, and that's what we try to on our training app. So you can do that, and you can get involved, you can get great programming, you can connect and just be part of the community. It's how you can actually get part of it, and again, connect with other HYROXers doing cool things. So anyway, all links are going to be down there below if you're looking for something like that. We have an amazing one for you. So I'm going to wrap up this podcast. Thank you so much for listening. The next podcast that I am going to drop end of the week is I'm going to do the full breakdown of every struggle, every mistake, the lessons I've learned myself that helped me go sub 60. And I'm going to talk about the race with myself and Jordan, and even the things I've learned from him and how we approach the race, because how me and him approach this race will shock a lot of people. But there was some great lessons from that itself. So guys, wherever you are in the world, keep just being you, keep training hard, and remember, put your goals front of mind, and just be your biggest supporter. All right, cheer yourself on. Don't be your harshest critic. You got this, and I look forward to hopefully meeting you at a HYROX one day very soon.